And what if it does work out? I'm not saying this as somebody who has not deeply suffered and felt like I was buried in the ground by life and myself and my feelings. But what if it works out? I just prayed to myself, I am so thankful, God. Thank you for loss. Thank you for loss. Thank you that I have lost what I've loved. Thank you that I have understood the value of things. I'm thankful that I have been broken and I have, it sounds so twisty, but it's all the paradox that it all is. It's when we decide to make it straight that we get really messed up because it's all messy and it's all twisty, but the loss is what taught me what love was. It was the loss that made me the woman that I am. It was the loss that sees love everywhere. It was the loss that taught me wisdom. I met myself in it. I've discovered God in my brokenness, not in my performance or perfection or success. It's the loss. It's the pain. There's wisdom in it, and people talk about, like, you gotta go through it, you know? And I want to punch those people in the throat, so I get it if you're like, Lacey, shut up, I don't like what I'm in. It's not the loss, I don't want to be here. I go. Let me tell you, I get it. But it's in it. It's the process that we need. The process is the loving part. I was just thinking about it, going, all the things I've experienced in my life in the last year of my life alone, what has felt like the depths, what has felt like the highest of highs, I've discovered so much about who I really am by being alive and feeling it and witnessing it and letting myself be in truth in it, because I understand what it's like to lose myself. I understand it now. I get it now from a different level. And before, I used to come to these new places of awareness within myself and I'd be like, why is there more layers? Why is there more to the onion, Shrek? Like, I just am tired of onions. I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of loss. I'm tired of grief. I'm tired, but I am coming to terms with the fact that I am a tender-hearted, soft-bodied oracle from what I have gone through because of all that has been revealed in the process, and that the process was the point. The process is the point. My roommate introduced me to jiu-jitsu, and I started training Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And then I got injured, and I was very sad, but I'm going to go back. And she was just saying how, in her experience, the people who do well in jiu-jitsu are the ones that enjoy the process of being humbled, getting destroyed, being awful for a while, because you just kind of are. And in the process, you have these micro wins. You have these moments of success or awareness of breakthrough, of strength, of recognizing. For me, it was, as a woman, recognizing the power and strength of my body after years of training weights and like not doing anything to really use the strength that I had. But then to see how I can protect myself, to see how I can get stronger and like fight with men and scare them. It's so great. It just makes me feel strong in myself. But I've had these micro wins, and I've started noticing, like, whoa, I'm not as spazzy as before, but I suck, and that's okay. I will not stand a fighting chance with anybody that is not, I mean, like, realistically, a lot, probably most people. But I'm willing in a different way because my perspective to the process has shifted. I've enjoyed the process of the becoming. I really want you to think about this today because I want you to be honest. How much of your pain is because you are avoiding the process of the becoming, and you have committed to the idea that you know what you want to become now? I'm going to say that again. You have an idea and an understanding of what you want, and an expectation, and a desire, and a want from life, from a person, from a relationship, from a job. You want to feel what? And how much of the frustrations of your life are because you are resisting the discomfort of the becoming because you've decided what it has to become? And it is really truly in the release of control. And it goes back to think of so many of these religious texts: the act of surrender, the act of saying, yes, I need you, I need salvation, the act of consent from us, the willingness to try, that faith without works is dead. And it's not works. All of these different, texts that talk about the importance of our actions, of our love and service. What does love look like? It is the smallest, most beautiful moments that we miss. It's in the becoming. It's not what we think we need to become. It's not what we want to become. Who I am today is so different than who I thought I was going to become. Oh my gosh. But I like me. I like it here. I didn't know that could be a thing. I like me in my life. I like life. I like people because I like me. I can be open and safe because I am open and I am safe. And it's such a privilege to be here. It's such a privilege to be here. And I say this in a period of loss. I'm thankful. Because now when life hurts, I have learned how to lean in and say the loss is here. Frances Weller, who has incredible writing on grief and on just the depths of like going into the wilderness that is us. Life will require it of us. It will. It'll be something. It's me today, it's you tomorrow. It's going to be loved ones passing. It's going to be the reality of instability in jobs and governments and things and fear, all of it. It's going to happen. We have to look at the lows and the hard and the difficult and the uncomfortable as the becoming. We are learning. What can I learn? How can I love better from this? How can I care about what is true? What is good? What is loving? What is warm? What is all the things that I desire to be in life, and what I desire to feel from life, and what I can create within me? It's in the becoming. There's so much beauty in the breaking. And I know you're scared to break. And I know it feels like it's gonna eat you up. And there's someone, I'm forgetting, man. God. He's the #1 grief expert in the world, and I will tag him in the description. But he said at a Matthew Hussey retreat, I love Matthew Hussey, y'all. He's a good ass man. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. I think he's very genuine and especially what he's been through in the last few years and how he's shifted. But I think he really cares for people. But anyway, I digress. I have benefited from his stuff. in my relationship to myself. And he had this grief expert at one of his retreats and said, everybody that talks to him about loss and about grief says, I just can't cry. I don't know where it ends. I'm gonna get lost. It doesn't stop. And like for me, I have complex trauma. There's still just things that need to be felt by me. And it can feel overwhelming. It can feel frustrating. Like, why now? Why? But I don't summon these feelings. I didn't have choice in a lot of them. Reacting to life. They're reacting to myself and in life, and they're beautiful too. And I can hold myself differently now, but it's all important because it changes how we go through life. It's important. If it hurts, it matters. If we need to care. Then I think I've been so hurt because I had all of these beliefs and expectations about what it had to be to matter. I was withholding my own compassion and tenderness, thinking that truth would teach me through shame or subtle messaging or passive aggression. All of the things that my body was reading for because I just didn't feel safe. And now that I feel safe, there's still moments where my body's like, hey, I don't feel safe. And I can look, or I feel my tantrums differently within me. And I share this so that you can experience, like, this is possible. I hated myself. I hated the idea of what I thought I was responsible for and the cause the impact that I thought I had. I don't want to say I hated myself. I didn't. This is like real life processing and reframing. This is what we have to do. I hated the person I thought I was because I was given the responsibility and the impact because there was a lack of accountability and willingness to face our own stuff. And then it was put on us. It was internalized by us as kids. And I hated who I thought I was. And now now that I see who I am, y'all, I like genuinely, I say this from the least prideful place, but I am proud. I like me. I like my heart. I like how I think. And I was just thanking God on my way to the gym now, saying, thank you for letting me be me. Thank you for creating me with a curious mind. Thank you that I am about to step into beautiful things because I choose to see them everywhere, and that this is now creating so much beauty because I am it. I am embodied in it and who I think I am now, not just how I thought and logically. It's really integrated in a different way, and it's taken a process of like intellectualizing it and understanding it and being brave and courageous in my grief with myself and having to learn my nervous system and having to ask for help and having to co-regulate in my nervous system and say, I just need to sit with you. Can I have a hug? Like, can I borrow you for a few deep breaths? Like, and to know that there are people in my life that love me and see me in my space of healing and recovery in this, because we are recovering. We're wounded. I'm wounded, and I'm loved, and I'm beautiful, and I'm part two. And I want to say this to you as an invitation that you're never going to be cooked and finished, so stop trying to get there. So much of your resistance is you think you're too late or you're too far gone. You're here. you're here. It's the process. It is the process. And then there will be sweet moments that you know how to hold, and big moments that you know how to hold because you trained for the process. I can't stand a fighting chance against my black belt coach. If I don't put in the time and the effort, I will not be prepared for the situation when I'm confronted with the black belt of life. And if you didn't learn from your experiences, and now you're coming to this awareness of how unprepared you feel within yourself, with yourself, in your relationship to yourself, in your relationship to life, you are accountable for that. And you are responsible for that. And I do not say that to invalidate your reasoning and the reality of why you are the way you are and what happened to you in your environment that was out of your control, or maybe what you did choose and you feel deep shame and regret about. You go back to the past often. And if this resonates with you, I share all of this process with you guys because I needed to see this. When I was a little girl, I needed to see somebody that I would think was pretty cool with tattoos, and she's funny and talking about how hard it is to feel sometimes and that it can be hard to become. But to be in that process of becoming is the thing. It gives us strength and wisdom and beauty and courage and love. And being loved well gives us courage. It opens up our life. It opens up our heart to life. Safety is it, and it's safety in love, it's safety in consideration. And what is love? What does it mean? All of these questions. I needed to see somebody being honest about how complex and diverse we can be, and that there's messages and beauty and little glimmers of just magic in it if we're willing to see it. But that requires bravery in the becoming, and that requires loss in the knowing of what we were, and the forgiveness of who we were. And forgiveness is not condoning. Forgiveness is not saying that what happened was okay. It's willing to say that this will no longer define the person I am now moving forward. It will not allow us to have a say in the psyche that I now choose, in the choices that I now choose, in the life that I am now conscious in. And I'm making repairs in this way, and I'm releasing myself from the burden of what I didn't know, or what they didn't know. And I'm choosing to move forward. I needed to see this, and I hope that this helps you just question within yourself, and to not just allow information and awareness to become like something you ingest. I spiraled when I was just trying to fix myself, and I was in that there's something wrong with me mode, instead of I need love and tenderness and something hurts mode. Now it's shifted because I've learned how to feel feelings in a way that haven't felt dangerous, because I had to learn how my nervous system was feeling. And I don't feel safe, I will not feel. It's not important. In the grand scheme of there's a bear in front of me, why am I processing my trauma from second grade? Like, you know, we have to create safety because these things need our attention. They're driving our subconscious life, and your subconscious is bleeding everywhere. And you see the fruit of it and the consequences of, like, I don't know why I am the way that I am. There are actual data points within that for us that we have to face to be able to become what we need to become in order to be the people that we needed. We get to evolve into the solution if we're willing. What's the other choice? Like, I couldn't choose to be abused, I did choose a lot of things once I was old enough to have choice, because that was the patterns that I knew. That's just what I knew. It's just what life looked like. I was not conscious to it. And now that I'm awake and I'm conscious to it, I am responsible for it. We have to take accountability for this stuff. And I know it can feel overwhelming and scary, and I know that you can beat yourself up, but truth and love will never shame you. If I've learned anything about my internal voices, that we have many internal voices that tell us things that are not actually us. They are just thoughts and they are just feelings. There are things that are important, and if we slow down and we get safe, we can hear what is important and what is just chatter. But we have to create space to do that. It's practice, it's jujitsu, it's any skill. You have to start. It does not have to look like sitting on a mat and meditating. It can be just going on a walk without your phone and observing what your mind is saying to you. Trying to connect to yourself. I do it in so many different ways, even in dance. I was feeling really agitated in the middle of this dance event. I was like, why am I so self-conscious and just feeling all these feelings? I just went, what's going on? What? I wanted to go dancing. I'm just checking in with me. I was hungry. I was tired. I just wanted to go. Instead of having to throw a tantrum, I can say, you don't have to be up. I hear you. We can just go get food. I just had distracted, And I was really just hungry and ready to go. And I needed to just listen to the fact that my body was shifting and my affect and how I was feeling. And that was reflecting of something important. So when we have gone through these things, our wires are crossed, and we are responsible to say, hey, my wires are crossed. Can you help me see truth? I need to learn how to discern truth. I need to learn how to feel what truth feels like in my body. I know when a moment of violation happens, I feel it. I just had to be disconnected from it. I'm having to learn how to reframe in real time when I talk poorly about myself or about life. I'm having to take accountability for my feelings, all of them. I'm having to allow space to just be a person and to like what I like and to say no and to not have to explain. And this is the first time in my life I've ever had that freedom. And I want that freedom for you because I know what it's like to feel enslaved to the perceptions, the judgments, the real criticisms, the real danger that is inflicted on you by people, and not feeling like you have an idea of who you are or what you think or what matters to you because you've had to be everything just to survive it. Your life is going to be so beautiful. Your life is going to be so beautiful, and I'm so excited for you to become all that you become because you as today have come so far. You have gone through it all. You went through all of it. What was the alternative? But look at who you are in your heart, in what you long for, in what you think of. It reminds me of my OG upbringing Christian days of a verse that says, both guard your heart above all else because it is the wellspring of your life. Your whole life comes from it, the condition of your heart. But then that God would test our heart. And I see that verse so differently now as an adult. I used to think it was like a test, like a pass-fail. And the nuance of God is that it's so much more, and there's so many layers, and even in the revelations that are given, it means so much because it is so many different things, and it's constantly changing, and we're constantly learning, and it changes our perspective, and it changes how we hear the information. But it says to test our hearts, that we have to search our hearts. We have to be aware of the condition of our heart. It is literally what drives on a neurological level your thought patterns, which then creates your emotional and physical state. What you feel comes from your thoughts. It is proven through and through, whether it is subconscious or conscious. It could be thoughts from forever ago that are suppressed down. But it's just so important that we are aware that we have capacity and ability and can earn security within our own body by just showing safety, creating safety, that we can slow down, that we can breathe, that we can be, that we can come out of that state of brain, of your amygdala, your survival brain, trying to keep you safe, shutting down all of the other capacities and parts of you that you need to function for your life right now. Safety within yourself and the relationship within yourself has to be the priority. Connection and safety. It has to be. And anything that causes you to disconnect and to feel unsafe is too much at this place in your recovery. And that's not selfish, that's honest. So, I love you. I hope this was helpful to you. I would love to hear in the comments if you took something from this video. What was it? And if you would consider subscribing and clicking the bell and doing all the things, I am going to start sharing more of these types of conversations because I think, being honest, I am going to do podcast episodes too, but it is important for me to share the growth and process that I didn't keep up with the podcast because I wasn't able to integrate the fact that I was scared to be messy and in process. I was scared of people's perceptions of me, and I've seen that being in process, being honest, is the bravest thing I could ever do. And it's giving you the invitation to say you're allowed to have that. You're allowed to feel that. You are a messy person, and you've probably hurt a lot of people, and you probably hurt yourself, and you are scared and wondering if things can be fixed and that you can experience a different life, and you're just tired and you're questioning and you're uncertain of where to turn, and maybe you're overstimulated and maybe you're understimulated because you're just so going through the motions, and you just need to remember the truth. And I hope that this is something that can cause you to really think about, like, what is the point of everything you're doing? Because if it is not rooted in truth, and if it is not rooted in love, you will not be fulfilled in your life. And I can promise you that, because I've tried it all. And it's you can't outrun you. So I love you guys, and I hope this was helpful. Share it with somebody. Share it on your socials. Let's talk. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Or if you just want to go on a ramble, because I love a good ramble, as you know. I love you guys. Okay, bye.